perform The Tempest. Woo! Yeah. Don't clap yet, you haven't seen it. Some nights jokes work, some nights they don't. Thank you guys so much for coming out here. We really appreciate you coming to the closing performance. Tomorrow night we start rehearsals for 12th night. So if you like what you see tonight, come back in about a month. We'll be posting about it on Facebook. Look us up, it's the Crude Mechanicals at Facebook. And come back and see us. After the show, we're going to put a little hat on the lip of the stage. So if you want to help us out and help us keep going and maybe up our budget a little bit, toss something in there, no pressure. You do not have to if you don't want to. It is worth it enough to have you guys here for us. Thank you so much. I'm really proud of this show and I'm really excited that you're all here. So without further ado, The Tempest.
Hi! My hearts! Cheerily, my hearts! Tend to thy master's whistle, blow till thou burst, wind, if there be room enough!
Good note, Queen, have care!
I pray you! Keep below! Make it, sir, be patient! When the sea is head, let down these rollers in the name of the king! Good it remember who has to ruler, none that I love more than myself! You are a counselor! If you can command these elements to freeze peace and bring the silence of the present, then do so! If you cannot, give thanks that you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour! I have great comfort from this fellow, methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him! His reflection is perfect gallows! Down with the topmast! Lower! Yard! A plague upon your howling! You are louder than the weather or our offices!
Oh, pox in your throat, you bawling, blasphemous and charitable dog!
Work you then!
Hang, cur! Hang, poor son! Insolent noisemaker, we are less afraid to be drowned than thou art!
The king and prince to prayers! But desist this one cases is
I'm
theirs!
out of patience! We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards! What thou mightst lie drowning the washing of 10 times!
Be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it, engagement widest to let him!
Let's drown with the king then! Let's take leave of him!
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long heath, brown furs, anything! The wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death!
If by your art, my dearest father, you have set the wild waters in this roar, allay them! Oh, the sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fires out. I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had, no doubt, some noble creature in her dashed all to pieces. Oh, their cries did knock against my very heart. The poor souls, they perish. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship soul have swallowed the frauding souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell thy piteous heart there's no harm done. Oh, no harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one. Of thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
Or more to know that never meddle with my thoughts.
This time, lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, my art. Sit down, for now thou must no farther.
You've often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped, concluding today, not yet.
The hour's now come. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this island? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old. Thou hadst, Miranda, and more. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? 12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, my father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are you not my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue. She did say thou wast my daughter. And thy father was the Duke of Milan, and thou his only heir.
Lack for mercy. By what foul play had we that we came from thence, or blessed was it we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Heart bleeds. Please you farther.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, he who next thyself of all the world I loved, to him put the manage of my state. And I to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
I pray you mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind. But by being so retired, in my false brother awaked an evil nature. And my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood as great in its contrary as my trust was, which indeed had no limit, a confidence sans bound. He being thus lorded over not only what my revenue yielded, but by what my power might else exact. To credit his own lie, he did believe he was the Duke. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, could cure deafness.
Play no screen between this part. He played absolute Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties, he now thinks me incapable. Confederates the King of Naples to do him homage and pay him annual tribute. Subject his coronet to his crown. And bend a dukedom yet unbound to most ignoble stooping.
Heavens.
Mark this condition and the event, then tell me if this might be called a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne back sons.
The King of Naples, being an enemy inveterate, hearkens to my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of tribute, I know not how much, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, whereon treacherous army levied, one midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio throw open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Heavens. I not remembering how I cried out then will cry over it again. It is a hint, sir, that brings my eyes to it.
You're a little further. Then I'll bring us to the present business which now is upon us, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
My tale provokes that question, dear. They durst not, so dear the love my people bore me. They bore us out some leagues to sea, where they had prepared a rotten carcass of a boat. Neither rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast, the very rats had instinctively quit it. And there they hoist us, to cry to the seas that roared back, to sigh to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Black, what trouble was I to you then?
Thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, fuse with the fortitude from heaven.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine, some food we had and some fresh water, which a noble Neapolitan Gonzalo did give us, along with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which have since steaded much. So of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me with volumes from mine own library, which I prized above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever meet this man?
Now I arise. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princesses can have, with vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
And heavens thank you for it. sea storm.
By accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath to this shore brought mine enemies. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, spirit, come! I'm ready for thee! Approach, my Ariel, come!
All hail, great master, great sir, hail! I come to answer thy best pleasures, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the backs of the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding task, Ariel, and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article! I boarded the ship. Now, in the waist, in the beak, in the cabin, and every deck did I flame amazement! Why, sometimes I divide and burn in many places. The topmast, the bowsprit, the yards, then meet and join again. Oh, Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclap, more momentary and sight-out running were not. At the fire and the sulphurous cracks, most mighty Neptune did seem to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
Oh, my brave spirit! Who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason, huh?
All but mariners did plunge into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. Then, the king's son, Ferdinand, all afire with me, with hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man to leap, crying, "Hell is empty and the devils are here!"
Oh, my brave spirit! But was not this nigh shore?
Oh, close by, master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perish. As thou badest, I dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself.
And all the rest of the fleet?
The rest of the fleet, which I did disperse, has met again and is on the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home to Naples, assuming that they've seen the king's ship wrecked and his great person perished.
Oh, Ariel, thy charge is exactly performed, but there's more work. What's the time of day?
Past the mid-season.
The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Sir, more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, allow me to remember thee what has been promised but not yet performed to me.
Oh, no, moody. What is thou canst demand?
My liberty?
For the time be out, no more.
I prithee remember, I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistaking, served thee without grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me 1 full year.
Hast thou forgot from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost. And thou think'st it much to tread along the ooze of the salt deep, to run along the sharp winds of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with
I
frost.
do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing! Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, whom with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Huh? Hast thou forgot her?
No,
This
sir.
foul witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible, thou knowest was banished. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child by the sailors, and left here. Thou wast then her servant, and for thou wast a spirit too delicate, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee with her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which space thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which rift she died, and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the freckled whelp hag born she left here, not graced with a human shape.
Aye, her son Caliban.
Don't think I said so! He that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest from what a torment I did free thee. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever angry bears. It was mine art when I arrived on the island and heard thee that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I do thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I shall rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Oh, prithee, sir, I shall be correspondent to command.
Do so. And after 2 days, I will discharge thee.
Oh, that's my noble master! What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go! Make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go hither in this shape and come back in it. Go, hence with diligence! Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well, awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
He's a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, he does bring in our fuel, make our fires, and serves in other offices that profit us. What ho! Slave! Caliban!
There's one enough within.
Come forth, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, when?
As wicked do as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from a wholesome fame drop on you both.
Oh, for this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pin thy breath up.
Silence mine. By Sycorax my mother which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and madest much of me. And once give me water with berries in it. And teach me how to name the bigger lights and how to less that burn both day and night. And I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. The fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile. Curse me that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, bats, beetles, light on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. But here you stymie in this hard rock, whilst you keep me from the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness. I have used thee, built as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Ho, ho! But once that been done, thou didn't prevent me. I had peopled this isle with Caliban.
Oh, I pitied thee, taught thee to speak, taught thee each day one thing or other. When thou didst not, savage, know thine own tongue, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish, I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known.
And you taught me language. And my prophet, honest, I learned how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Exceed hence! Fetch us in fuel. Thou neglectest, or dost unwillingly, I will rack thee with cramps, fill thy bones with aches, make thee roar, that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee.
So, slave, hence!
This is no mortal business. I hear it now above me.
Say what thou seest yond.
What is it, a spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Well, believe me, sir, it carries a brave form.
No, this gallant was in the wreck.
Oh,
Thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
well, I might call him a thing divine. Oh, for nothing natural I saw ever so noble.
Oh, sure, the goddess on whom these heirs attend. Oh, you wonder. If you be maid, or no?
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech were I where 'tis spoken.
How? The best? What wert thou if the king of Naples heard thee?
A small thing indeed that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. I myself am Naples, whose eyes were ne'er at ebb since I beheld the king my father wrecked.
Oh, alas for mercy.
Yes, faith. The king, all his lords, the Duke of Milan, and his brave son being twain.
At first sight they have changed eyes. Spirit, brave spirit, I'll set thee free within 2 days for this. Soft, sir. I'd like a word with you. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. One word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that ever I saw, the first that ever I sighed for. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, I'll make you the queen of Naples.
Soft, sir. One word more. They are in each other's powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more, I charge thee. Thou dost attend me? Thou hast put thyself upon this island as to usurpus the name you owest not, and to win it from me, the Lord on it.
No, as I am a man.
Nothing ill can dwell in such a temple.
Speak not you for him. He's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Salt water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be withered roots and husks. Follow!
No! I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
My dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he is gentle and not fearful.
Oh, put thy sword up, traitor! Who makest a show but darest not strike. His conscience is so racked with guilt. Come away from thy ward, for here I can disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Sir, I beseech you.
It's hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity. I will be his surety.
What? An advocate for an impostor? Hush! Thou thinkest there are no such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban, foolish wench.
My affections are most humble. I have no ambition of seeing a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them.
My spirits are all bound up as if in a dream. The weakness which I now feel, the wreck of my father, the loss of all my friends, nor this man's threats to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but once a day through my prison behold this maid, all corners else of the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
It works! Thou hast done well, fine Ariel! Come, follow! Hark what thou shalt else do me!
Be of comfort, good sir. My father is of a better speech than he appears by his nature. It is unwanted which now came from him.
Miranda. Oh, thou shalt be as free as mountain winds. But then, do exactly all points of my command.
Oh, to the very syllable!
Oh, Joe's lightning was not as fast as that. Love. Oh, come, follow. Ferdinand!
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 Birdie.
Ferdinand!
Yeah, Ferdy.
Ferdinand!
Here, boy.
Ferdinand! Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. Few in millions can speak like us, then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Pray thee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him more so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by, it will strike.
Sir,
One, tell.
when every grief is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainer,
$1.
dollar comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fie, what a spendthrift of his tongue he is.
I
pray thee, spare.
though this island seem to be desert, uninhabitable and almost inaccessible,
Yet,
He could not miss it.
it must needs be of a subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
aye, and as subtle as he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs, and rotten ones.
Or as it were, perfumed by a fen.
Here is everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live.
Of that there's none. Oh, well, little.
For lush and lusty the grass looks. How green!
The ground is indeed tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
His words are the miraculous harp. He hath raised the wall and houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
Or, sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye. Sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter.
Oh, you cram these words into my ears against the stomach of my senses. Would that I'd never married my daughter there, for coming thence my son is lost. And she too, in my rate, being so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. Oh, thou might err of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee? No! No! He's gone!
Please you, sir. You may receive some comfort in this great loss.
My lord Sebastian, rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
It's foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord, and were the king on it, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
To the Commonwealth I would by contraries execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate. Letters should not be known, riches, poverty, no occupation. All men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor, treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would not I have. But nature should bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance to feed
marrying among his subjects?
None, man. All idle. Whores and knaves.
I would, with such perfection, govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
God save his majesty!
Long live Gonzalo!
And do you mark me, sir?
I pray thee no more. Thou dost talk of nothing to me.
No, I warrant you, I would not adventure my discretion so weakly. Would you laugh me asleep, for I'm very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
So soon asleep. Would that mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a great comforter.
We too, my lord, shall guard your person while you rest and watch for your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why then doth not our eyelids sink?
Nor I, man. My spirits are nimble. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face. What thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do. And surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What a strange repose is this. Be standing, speaking, moving, with eyes wide open, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortunes sleep. Die, rather. Winks whiles thou art waking.
There's meaning in thy snores.
Although this lord of weak remembrance hath here almost persuaded the king his son's alive, 'tis as impossible that he's undrowned, and he that sleeps here swim.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She who is queen of Tunis. She who dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She who can have no note. We all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny perform an act wherein what's past is prologue. What's to come in yours and my discharge?
What stuff is this? How say you?
How shall that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples, keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wait? Say that this were death that now had seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. That you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep this was for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True, and look how well my garments sit upon me.
But for your conscience.
Aye, sir, where lies that? Here lies your brother, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou godst Milan, all come by Naples. Come, draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together then. And when I rear my hand, do you the like to befall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
Oh, my master through his art foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth for else his plans will die to save them. Awake, awake, awake!
Then let us be sudden.
How could angels preserve the king?
Why, how now?
Even now, as we stood here securing your repose, did I hear a hollow burst of bellowing, like bulls, or rather lions, struck mine ear most terribly, did not wake you.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright the monsters here, to make an earthquake. Surely it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one which did awake me.
Lead off this ground and let us make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the island.
Lead on.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what has been done. So, king, go safely on to seek your son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fins, flats on Prosper fall, make him by inchmeal a disease. His spirits hear me, yet I needs must curse. Don't nor pinch. Fright me with urchin, shows me pinch me ere the mirror, nor lead me, like a firebrand, in the dark. Out of my way. Unless he bid him. For every trifle are they set upon me. Sometimes I can ape that will mow and chatter at me and after bite me. Then like a hedgehog that will lie tumbling in my barefoot way and mount his pricks at my footfall. Am I all wound with adders that with cloven tongues to miss me in the madness? Oh no, no! Here comes one of the spirits to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. All fall flat! Because you'll not mind me.
Neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm brewing yond. Same cloud. Yond black cloud, yond huge one. Looks like a bumpard that would shed his liquor. If it should storm, as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose, but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of not of the newest poor John. A very strange fish. Legged like a man, arms for fins. Warm on my trough. I do now let loose my opinion, let me hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered a thunderstroke. Oh, the storm has come again! Oh, no! Oh, no, no. I shall creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more to see. Here shall I die ashore. This scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Moll, Meg, Marion, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savor of tar nor of pitch, yet the tailor may scratch her where'er she did itch. And so to sea, boys, and let her go hang! This is a scurvy tune, too. Well, here's my comfort.
Spirit torments me! Oh!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? You put tricks upon us with savages and men of Ind? Ha! I have not escaped drowning to be afeard of your 4 legs. For it has been said that as proper a man stood on 4 legs, and it shall be said again while Stephano breathes at his nostrils.
Spirit torments me! Oh!
This is some monster of the isle, with 4 legs, who hath, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language?
Do not torment me, prithee, I'll bring my word home faster.
The monster's in his fit now, and does not speak after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine afore, it shall go to remove his fit.
Thou dost me little hurt yet. Thus will anon, I know it by thy trembling Prospero works upon thee.
Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. I can tell you that, and surely you cannot tell who's your friend. Come, open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should be, oh, but he is drowned and these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend, while his backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. Come, I shall pour some in thy other mouth.
Stephano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Oh, mercy! Mercy, this is no monster, but a devil! I will take my leave, I will have no long spoon!
Oh, Stephano! Stephano! If thou beest Stephano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo, thy good friend. Trinculo!
Thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these be they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed! Tell me how thou came to be the siege of this mooncat.
Oh, I took him to be an islander that hath lately suffered a thunderbolt. But Stephano, art thou not drowned? I hope now that thou art not drowned, and is the storm past? And oh, Stephano! Ah, 2 Neapolitans escaped! Oh, Stephano!
I prithee, do not turn me about, for my stomach is not constant.
These be fine things. If they be not sprites, what's a brave guy? And he bears celestial liquor. I'll kneel to him.
Tell me how thou escapedst. Swear by this bottle. Oh, I escaped on a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved o'erboard. By this bottle, which I made with mine own 2 hands, from the bark of a tree, since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that battle to be thy true subject, for thy liquor is not earthly.
Swear then how thou escaped.
Swam ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck. I'll be sworn.
Kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose!
Oh, Stephano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid.
Ooh.
How now, mooncalf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou now dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
Well, I have seen thee and her, and I do adore thee.
Come swear to that.
By this good light, a most ridiculous monster, I afeared of him, the man in the moon.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island. I'll kiss thy foot, I prithee. Be my guide. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come then. Down and swear.
A most scurvy monster. A puppy-headed monster. I could find in my heart to beat him. No.
Come. Kiss.
Oh, put the poor monsters in drink.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee. I'll bring thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bring him no more sticks. I'll follow thee. Thou wondrous man.
Oh, a most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
Lead on then, with no more talking. Trinculo, the king in our company else being drowned, we shall inherit here.
Ooh.
Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo, we shall fill him by and by again. Oh.
Farewell, master. Farewell. Farewell.
A howling monster. A most ridiculous monster.
No more dams, I'll make for fish. Nor fetch a firing, I'm acquiring. Nor scrape printer, nor wash dish. Ban, Caliban. Has a new master a new man? Freedom. Heyday, freedom, freedom, heyday. Heyday, freedom.
Oh, brave monster! Lead the way!
This, my mean task, should be as heavy to me as odious. But the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more kind than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I should pile up some 1,000 of these logs upon a sore injunction. My mistress weeps when she sees me work and says such baseness I never like executor.
Alas, now pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burned those logs that you were enjoined to pile. Pray set it down and rest yourself. When it burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study, and he's safe these 3 hours.
No, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I have discharged what I strive to do.
If you'll sit it down, I'll carry your logs a while. Pray, give me this. I can carry it to the pile.
No! Precious creature, I'd rather, snag my sinews, break my back, then you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
Well, it becomes me, sir, as well as it does you. And I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Ah, poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No! 'Tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. Pray, tell me, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers at night. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I've broken your house to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, what's worthiest to the world. For several virtues have I known several women. None with so fun soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with it and put its noblest grace to the foil. But you, oh, you, so peerless and perfect, made of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save for my glass mine own, nor have I seen more that I may call man, good friend, than you and my dear father. I mean, how faces are abroad, I am skillless of. By my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would wish no companion in the world but you.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service, and there remains to be your ever eternal slave to it. Thus am I ever your ever patient logman. Oh,
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 no!
oh, oh, oh.
Do you love me? Oh.
I do. Beyond all limit else of the world, love, prize, honor. You.
Oh, I'm a fool to weep at what I'm glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness that dare not offer what I desire to give, much less take what I shall die to what I... Hence, bashful cunning and prompt me, plain and holy innocence, I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow, you may deny me, but I will be your servant, whether you will it or no.
My mistress dearest, I, thus humble, ever.
My husband, then.
Aye. With a heart as willing as bondage or freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine with my heart in it. And now farewell. Till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
As glad of this as they, I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing could be greater. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time have I much business appertaining.
Tell not me when the butt is out we shall drink water, not a drop before. Servant monster, drink to me.
A servant monster, the folly of this island. They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are 3 of them. If the other 2 be brained like us, the state totters.
Servant monster, drink when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? They were a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. By this light, you shall be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
Ha! Your lieutenant, if you list. He's no standard.
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How is thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
I am encased to justle a constable. Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Well, let him, my lord.
Oh, my lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Well, go again. Bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer such indignity.
Well, I thank my noble lord. Will thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, I shall kneel and repeat it. I shall stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of this island.
Thou liest!
Thou liest! Thou jesting monkey! Thou I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, bother him any further in his tail, and by this hand I'll supplant some of your teeth.
I said nothing.
Mum then and no more. Proceed.
As I say, by sorcery he got this isle, from me he got it. If thy greatness will revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
And yeah, thou will be lord of it, and I will serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Aye, my lord. And there I will yield him to sleep, where thou mayest not the nail into his head.
Thou liest! Thou canst not!
What a high nit is this? Thou scurvy patch, I beseech thy greatness, give him blows.
One word more, and by this hand I will turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee!
Why, what did I? I did nothing! I will stand farther
Take no that! As you like this, give me the lie another time!
Out of your bearing! The pucks are your bottle, a murrain on your monster, and the devil take your fingers!
Forward with your tale. Prithee, stand farther off. Stand farther.
Beat him enough! After a little time, I'll beat him too.
Come. Proceed.
Why? As I told thee, 'tis a custom with him, in the afternoon to sleep. And there thou mayest brain him. First possess his books. Or with a log batter his skull. Or punch him with a stick, or cut thy weasel with thy knife. First possess his books. For without them he's but a soot, as I am. Without one spirit to command, for they all do brutally hate him as much as I. And then most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. For he himself hath called her non-pareil.
Is it so brave a lass?
Aye, my lord. She become thy bed, I warn, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster! I shall kill this man. His daughter and I shall be king and queen, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent!
Take my hand, I'm sorry I beat thee. On. Whiles thou art living, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour he will be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honor.
Oh, this will I tell my master!
Thou makest me merry, while I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocking. Will you troll the catch you taught me while about here?
Aye, come, Trinculo. Let us sing. Flout 'em and scout 'em and scout 'em and flout 'em. That is free.
That's not the tune.
What is this saying?
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody.
ugliest man, show thyself in my likeness. If thou beest a devil, take it as thou list.
Oh, forgive me my sins!
He who dies pays all debts. I defy thee, mercy upon us.
Are thou afeard?
No, no monster. Not I.
Well, be not afeard. This isle is full of noises. The sounds and sweet airs that will give delight, but hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twinkling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that if I were awake, I cry to dream again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that if I wake, I would again cry to dream.
This shall prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed,
Aye, that will be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow it and after do our work.
Monster, lead the way. We'll follow. I would I could see this taborer. He lays it on.
Wilt come? I'll follow Stephano.
Search on land. Well, let him go.
The next advantage will we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not nor cannot act with such vigilance as when they are fresh.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny, which hath to instrument this lower world and everything in it, the never-surfeited sea hath caused to belch you up. And on this isle, where no men doth inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad. And men with even such like valor have hung and drowned their proper selves. Oh, you fools! My fellows and I are ministers of fate, the elements from which your very swords are tempered. You might as well wound the loud winds, or with the mocked-at stabs kill the still-closing waters, as harm one bloom within my dowel. And if you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strength, and they will not be uplifted. But remember, for that is my business to you, that you 3 men from Milan did supplant good Prospero. Expose unto the sea him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delaying but not forgetting have incensed the sea, the shores, yea, all earth's creatures against you. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me, a lingering perdition worse than death.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous! Monstrous! Methinks the billows did speak and tell me of it. The wind did sing it to me, and the thunder, a deep and dreadful organ pipe, did pronounce the name of Prosper. This does base my trespass. Therefore my son in the ooze is bedded. That I will join him there and seek him out, deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded.
But 1 feet at a time, I'll fight them legions o'er.
I'll be thy second.
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like a poison given to work a great time after, now begins to bite the spirits. Follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation here makes amends. For here I have given you 1/3 of my life, that for which I live, which once again I tender to thy sweet hand. All thy trials were but trials for my affection, and thou hast here strangely stood the test. Once again I ratify this my rich gift. Ferdinand, do not smile that I boast her off, for she shall outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then, as thine own gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter.
As I hope for long days, quiet nights, and a life full of love as 'tis now.
Barely spoke. Come then, sit with her, for she is thine own. Ah, look thou be true! Do not give dalliance too much the reins. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire in the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
No, oh, no, sir, no! The, white, cold, virgin snow of my heart does abate the ardor of my liver.
I had forgot the conspiracy of the foul beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come.
This is strange. Your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Never till this day saw him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels here are now ended. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with the sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My brain is troubled. If you like, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
Well, we wish you peace.
Come with a thought, I thank thee, Ariel, come!
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy best pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, sir, I thought to have told thee, but feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
Well, as I told you, they were red hot with drinking. So I played my tabor, and they, like unbacked pricked their ears, lifted their noses, advanced their eyelids, and they smell my music! So, I charmed their ears, such that they, calf-like, my lowing followed through toothed briars, sharp furzes, prickling gauze and thorns which did enter into their frail chins. At last did I leave them in a filthy mantled pool beyond your cell.
This was well done, my bird, but there's more work. The trumpery from my house. Go fetch it hither, for stale to catch these thieves.
Oh, before you can say come and go, and breathe twice, and cry so, each one tripping on his toe will be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel. A devil. Born devil on whose nature nurture can never stick. On whom my pains humanely taken. All lost. Quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I'll plague them all, even to roaring. Come! Hang them on this line! Hang! Drop not, fool!
Pray you, tread softly. That a blind mole may not hear a footfall. We are now near his cell.
Monster! Your fairy, which you said to be a harmless fairy, has done little more than played the jack with us!
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Should I take a displeasure against you? Look you!
Thou wert but a lost monster!
Good, my lord. Give me thy favor still. Be patient. For the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance.
Aye, but to lose our bottle in the pool.
There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss!
This is more to me than my wetting, good monster. And yet this, this is your harmless fairy, monster.
I prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of the cell. No noise! And enter, and do that good mischief that will make this island thine own forever. And I, thy Caliban, for I, the footlicker.
Give me thy hand, for I do begin to have bloody thoughts!
O King Stephano, O worthy peer, look what a wardrobe lies here for thee.
Let alone, thou fool, it is but trash.
Oh, monster! We know what belongs to frippery. O King Stephano!
Trinculo, put off that gown, for by this hand I shall have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
The dropsy drown this fool. What do you mean to drop this on such luggage? Let's alone and do the murder first. If he awake, from toe to crown, he'll fill our skins with pinches and make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is this not my jerkin? Now the jerkin is under the line. Oh, jerkin, you shall lose your hair and prove to be a bald jerkin.
Do, we steal by line and level.
I thank thee for that jest. Here's a garment for it.
Oh!
Which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by line and level is a wonderful passive pate. Here's another garment for it.
Oh! Monster! Do put some lime upon your fingers and, away with the rest.
I'll have none of it. We shall lose our time. And all return to barnacles or to apes, with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers and help us bear this to where my hogshead of wine is, or I shall turn you out of my kingdom! Now here, take this.
And this.
And this.
Hey, Mountain, hey!
Hi, Silver! There it is!
Fury! Fury! There! Time right there!
Oh, hark how they roar!
Let them be hunted soundly. Soon all my labors shall end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. For a little, follow and do me service. Now my project gathers to a head. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
Past the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you did say we would stop.
I did say so when first I raised the Tempest. Say, spirit, how fares the king and his followers, huh?
In the same fashion in which you gave in charge. They are, sir, all prisoners and cannot budge until you release them. Your charms work them so strongly that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Though with their high wrongs they have struck me to the quick, yet with my nobler reason do I take part against my fury. They being penitent, sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Quickly, spirit, their senses I'll restore, my charms I'll break, and they shall be themselves.
Well, fetch them, master.
I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. To the strong-based promontory have I given shape with my most potent art. But this rough magic I'll here abjure. I'll break my staff, bury it some fathoms in the earth, and deeper than e'er did plummet sound, I'll drown my book. A solemn air and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy now cures thy brains, which lie useless in their skulls. Boiled, there stand, for thou art spell-stopped. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver, and to a loyal sir you followest. I shall pay thee home both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood, brother mine, who entertained ambition and expelled remorse and nature, who, with Sebastian, whose inward pinches are therefore most strong, would have here killed your king? I do forgive thee. natural though thou art. Not one of them sees me or would know me. Quickly, spirit. Thou shalt ere long be free. I shall miss thee. Yet thou shalt have freedom. So to the king's ship. There shalt thou find the mariners asleep. Enforce them to this place, huh?
Oh, I breathe the air before me, and I'll return before your pulse twice beats. All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King! The wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that a living prince doth here speak to thee, I embrace thy body and bid thee and thy company a hearty welcome.
Thy pulse does beat as of flesh and blood. And since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind has amended, from which I fear a madness had held me. And if this be a most strange story, I do resign thy kingdom, and do entreat to thee, and thou forgivest me my wrongs. But how does Prospero stand here alive and before me?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be confined nor measured.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle, which will not let you believe some things certain. Welcome, friends all. You, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I could here pluck his highness's frown upon you, and justify you traitors. At this time I'll tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him. No.
For you, most wicked sir, whom you call brother, would even infect my mouth. I do forgive thee thy rankest fault. All of it. Require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How camest thou here to find us, whom 3 hours since were wrecked on these shores, and where I have lost my dear son Ferdinand?
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the harm, and patience says it is past her cure.
To make the dear loss, have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you, for I have here lost my daughter.
A daughter? Heavens! Oh, that they were both here in Naples, the king and queen, both here. Would that I were bedded in the same oozy bed that my son now lies in. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. I do perceive that these lords do so much admire that their eyes scarce do offices of truth. Their words are natural breath, but howsoe'er you have been jestled from your senses, know that I am Prospero, and that very duke which was thrust forth of Milan, to land upon this island where most strangely you were wrecked, to be the lord on it. No more of this, for 'tis a chronicle of day by day, and not befitting a breakfast nor this first meeting. Welcome, Sir King. Here have I few attendants and subjects, none abroad. I pray you, look in my poor cell. Since you have given me my dukedom again, I will requite you with as good a thing. At least bring forth a wonder, which will content ye as much as me, my dukedom.
Okay, sweet lord, you play me full.
No, my dearest, I would not for the world.
Oh, yes. For a score of kingdoms you should wrangle. I would call it fair play.
If this be a trick of the island, one dear son shall I lose twice.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
All the glad tidings of a happy fathering compass thee, arise and tell me how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder. Oh, how many goodly people are there here? Oh, how beauteous mankind is. Brave new world that has such people in it.
'Tis new to thee.
Who is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
No, she is mortal, sir, but by immortal providence is she mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter, sir, to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown, and of whom I have received a second life, and a second father. This lady makes him to me.
I am hers. But how oddly it seems that I must ask my son for forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burthen our remembrance with the heaviness that's gone.
I have vainly wept, or should have spoke ere this. Look down, you God, and on this couple drop a blessed crown. For it is you that have chalked forth the way which brought us hither.
I say, amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan that his issue should become kings of Naples? Rejoice beyond a common joy, and set it down with gold and lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis, her brother Ferdinand a wife where he himself was lost, Prospero his dukedom in a poor isle, and all of us ourselves when no man was his own.
Take my hand. Let grief and sorrow encompass the heart of he who does not wish you both joy!
Be it so! Amen! Oh, look, sir! Look, sir, here's more of us! Hast thou come out by land? What is the news?
Oh, why the best news is that we found our king and company safe at last. The second best. Our ship is tight and yar, as bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea. Sir, all this have I done since I left you.
My tricksy spirit. These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. How camest thou here?
Well, if I did think, sir, that I were well awake, I'd strive to tell thee. We were dead of sleep, and how, we know not, clasped under hatches, where but even now, a plethora of strange noises, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and a diversity of sounds, all horrible, did awake us, and bring us straightway at liberty moping hither. What's well done?
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt have freedom.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod.
Sir, let us not infest our minds with the strangeness of this business. Come hither, spirit. Untie Caliban and his companions. Free the spell. My gracious sir. Oh, good Alonso. There are yet missing from your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Let all men shift for the rest, and let no man take care for himself. For all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster. Whoa. Coraggio.
Oh, if these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Celebos, these be brave spirits indeed. And how fine my master is. I am afraid he will chastise me.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong as could control the moon, make ebbs and flows, and deal with her commands without her power. These three here have robbed me, And this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these things you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stephano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. Where how thou camest thou? By this grand liquor that hath gilded thee. How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle that I fear shall ne'er out my bones. I will not fear fly blowing. Oh, how now, Stephano?
Touch me not, for I am not Stephano. What a cramp!
You be king of the isle, Sirrah?
Should have been a sore one then.
And this is about the strangest thing I've ever laid my eyes upon.
He's as disproportioned in his manners, sir, as in his shape. Go to my cell, take your companions with you. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. And what a thrice double ass was I to think this drunken a god, to follow this dull fool.
Go to, away!
Go and leave thy luggage where thee found it.
Your Honor, Sir King, I invite your Highness and your train into my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night. Which part of it I shall waste on discourse that I doubt not will make it go quick away. The story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this island. And then, in the morn, I shall take thee to your ship, and so to Naples, where I hope to see the nuptials of these our dearly beloved solemnized. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I do long to hear the story of thy life, which must meet the ears most strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious as shall catch your fleet far off. Oh, my true preserver! Oh, I thank thee. Oh! Good boy. Oh! Ariel, my chick, that is thy charge. And then, to the elements, be free. Fare thou well. Oh! Oh! Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's my own. Oh, which is most faint. Now 'tis true, I must be here confined by you, or else sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell. But release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so as it assaults mercy itself in all its faults. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgence set me free.
Look us up on Facebook and follow us and find out what we're going to do next. Have a great, great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.